Hello, welcome everyone to another episode of Medicinal Lounge. Is this our second episode of the year, I think?
Is it actually?
Yeah,
Right.
I think so.
Wait,
Well,
when did we record the last one?
it's been a while.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry for the wait, but we are back now, following up our really spicy episode.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed watching us.
Suffer.
Low-key, part of the reason we had a 3-week break was because we were recovering mentally and physically. I remember for me, that night, I actually don't remember what day that was. I think it was like my sister's birthday or something.
That's how bad it was. He doesn't remember.
And like I also ate like a lot of food, and so I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have like a lot of cheese, dairy products. Like, but I don't really care. I still do it anyway because it's like it's not a real allergy as I would put it in myself. But that's not actually like advice I would give to anyone. But so I had a lot of cheese that night. And
Dr. Nguyen,
allergy
allergy is not real.
I was spending many hours at 4 a.m. the day after crawling in pain, but I wasn't sure it was because of the chip or because of the yogurts that I ate that day.
You had a lot. I think you had
a lot of yogurt.
than
I had like
chips.
3 or 4 bottles of yogurt.
Oh god.
And like
Wow.
10 chocolates. It was wild. And
I don't think any of us had that bad of a reaction to the chips. I had like a really bad stomach ache for like maybe an hour, and then I had to use the restroom. And now I still have around 3 bags left over in my room that I don't really want to touch. I kind of just want them to disappear, but they're still here. If anyone would like one, you may have one.
wait, when are you brothers?
Let's share a rent. Yeah, good.
Oh yeah.
They actually took 1 bag, but I don't think they finished it. They just like tried 1 chip. They're like, oh, it's not that bad. And I was like, you have to finish the entire bag for it to be bad. And they're like, oh, pass. Yeah.
Yeah, I told my parents about having 2 bags like down in the kitchen, and they tried some. And
Like it?
yeah, not fans of it. But yeah, they didn't react, or they said it was. I mean, they could handle it, but it was not very good. Same with my brother.
Yeah. I think we had a similar feeling too. We just didn't like the taste. There's nothing about it.
I kind of like the taste. It's just like, I mean, it's not really worth it to eat if it's not for a challenge though. Too much heat.
I was thinking about it afterwards. I think it'd be okay if it was eaten with something like salsa, cheese dip,
Maybe.
guacamole. You know, so it's not like so it's not just like it's not just like a fucking a chip, right?
I feel like
it actually has like.
I feel like you might as well just like eat a Tostito with salsa then.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, you don't understand.
Just the heat isn't worth it, man.
No, you don't understand. You ever show up to a place, you get their food. Okay, so I like spicy. You go up, you grab some salsa, you grab some dip, whatever. You eat it, and it doesn't taste like anything, bro. It's just fucking chip and water in my mouth, right? It needs some heat to it, right? So I think maybe it's like a niche use, it'd be okay. I definitely don't recommend it because it just tastes like a chemical acid burn. Like I just went to a chem lab and.
I mean, I would just get a spicy salsa.
Yeah.
On there instead of, because I feel like that's still too much for ordinary meals.
You never showed like.
What do you guys think about? Sorry, what do you guys think about 7-layer dip?
Oh, what?
The 7-layer dip,
What is
7-layer dip. I haven't had that.
or like 5-layer
I
dip?
don't think I've ever had that. Actually, have I had it? I think my friend once gave it to me. It was okay. Daniel doesn't know what. Doesn't know what this is.
Oh my god! You guys have not.
You know, actually, I found a use case for the chip that we ate. You ever go to Taco Bell and they have those like Doritos tacos, but the ghost
Locos
pepper, right?
tacos.
Tacos. I'd be down. I feel like that would work. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of Taco Bell. It makes me have to shit really bad.
I don't even want to talk. I want to.
Oh
I want to give you the backhand, bro.
Jorge has to face some sort of punishment.
Yeah, that's not a take, Jorge. I'm sorry. that's a. Woo! Taco Bell's amazing.
Yeah, like that's actually a wrong opinion.
Like I know it's like shitty Mexican food. Like it's not even Mexican food. It's like American, right?
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Yeah. But
It is what it is, man. Like I'll
No,
go
yeah,
to Panda Express. I know it's
Food
not
is good.
Chinese food, but
For
like,
me,
damn it,
I
the orange
just-
chicken ain't good. Like, bro.
I'm just saying, for me, I just can't eat it. Like, it makes me have to shit really bad,
Mm.
and it hurts my stomach a lot.
Allergies? No.
Then you need to. Oh, Daniel, what were we gonna say?
Allergies? Are you allergic to something?
I'm
Maybe-
allergic to shitty Mexican food, I guess.
Fair enough.
Wait, do people actually have like there's always this common saying in American food, like if it doesn't make you destroy the toilet, it ain't good, right? I've heard that saying so many times.
I
But
Yeah, I
like,
heard
is that
that.
actually true? Do people actually have like that kind of reaction to food?
No, if I have that kind of reaction to that kind of food, I don't eat that food anymore.
Yeah.
Probably not
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Hmm.
I don't agree with that statement as well.
Wait,
It's like
who agrees
it's a
with
different.
that?
You. I don't know. I feel like you should be hit with a sense of euphoria. Like this sounds really random, but do you guys remember Uncrustables?
I fucking love Uncrustables, dude.
They're so dang. Like I just realized that I haven't had them in eons.
Oh.
But
But
then-
Daniel doesn't know what Uncrustables are. What?
No, no, no.
What
Bro,
is
you're not
this?
an American, bro.
Oh,
I-
these
I
thingies.
forgot
are
they
the
were
lunch
called that.
cafeteria.
But yeah, these are
Okay.
good.
Yeah, like the peanut.
I had
Yeah.
these
They're
when I was
so
little.
good.
Okay.
Is it
I was
called
super
that?
hungry. Yeah, I was super hungry at 1 a.m. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna microwave this. The perfect time is you microwave it for 20 to 25 seconds, and boom, like it just hits so differently.
Wait,
And
you're
like I
supposed
felt
to
so
microwave?
full.
Okay, I have a
Like-
hot take about Uncrustables. You know how they have the fucking little dirty ring around Uncrustables?
Hmm.
Extra. For some reason, that turns it into a crust. Like I know it's not like crust bread. It's just white bread, but it feels like a crust. It doesn't taste good. We all know the best
I
bite
disagree.
of the Uncrustable is the very center bite. After that bite, every bite is a shitty version of that bite.
I like the
Yeah.
crust.
But
The middle is the best part.
I think as a
I
kid,
think it's
really
all
didn't like
good.
crust. Like you know what a baguette is? You know, it's like a fucking, it's a fucking the noodle. Right?
Yeah.
I used to like, we used to get the Vietnamese baguettes at like the little Vietnamese like ethnic enclave by my house, and I wouldn't eat the crust, even though like now the crust is also very fire because it has its own flavor. But I used to just grab the middle of the baguette and turn it into like I just pull out everything in the inside, and I would turn it into like cubes or spheres, and then I would pop them in my mouth.
I
And then
remember.
throw away the
I remember I used to roll up my
baguette was wanted to
sandwiches.
beat my ass.
I remember at one point I would like roll up my peanut butter sandwiches into spheres and just condense it and eat it.
Why did you eat a peanut
How
butter
do
and
you do
jelly
that?
sandwich? How do you eat that?
What do you
Doesn't,
mean?
like
You,
the stuff come out? How do you roll it up?
no, you just compress it.
Okay, can you make one for an episode and like show us? Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, do you just like here's the sandwich and you go?
No, it might not have been the whole sandwich, but at least parts of it I would compress. And it tasted good.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Alright,
It's
next
just
time
because
we'll
there's
see.
more flavor.
Okay, were you guys allowed to not eat the crust of your sandwich? I know Daniel was not allowed to. I could see it.
Food is food. Food is food.
I mean, I never had a problem eating the crust personally. So
Yeah. I
Yeah.
eat the crust.
Yeah, me too.
I don't eat the crust of pizza.
Wait, do you eat the crust
The
on
pizza crust I don't eat. I don't. That's the only thing I don't
Dan's
eat.
gonna beat your ass, bro.
Is it just too much bread? What's wrong?
yeah, I don't get it. Why do you hate crust?
Is it just bread? Is it because it's just
No.
bread?
Okay. Here's my
This is like-
pizza hot take.
this-
Okay. I was listening to another show and they were talking about the crust on a pizza and they're like, what you're supposed to do with it is you're supposed to leave like a little bit of sauce and cheese as you eat up to the crust, and then you have like bread with some cheese and sauce still, right? And I was like, I mean, I guess that would make sense. That would make the crust like eatable, I guess. But my thing is this crust, it's just the shittiest part of the pizza, right? It's like you have all the flavor and then this is fucking bread at the end. Like if I just want to eat fucking bread, I can eat bread. Like it's not even good, right? It's like whatever.
I like
It's
it.
just I like
Oh,
the
you do?
I was
I like the pizzas as much of it as pizza as possible. I don't want to be able to touch the bread at the very end. Like I'm okay with that.
So that's how you grab
Yeah.
it.
Is that what
Just
it's
fucking
for?
hold it by the
No,
side
I
like
can't-
this, bro.
Yeah, that's what I do.
No, I couldn't have said it any better. I couldn't have said it any
Yeah.
better, Randy. Like it's just like there's such a stark difference in the taste. Okay, like here, like as a disclaimer, I hate pizza
Okay, that's
in
fucking
general.
wrong. That's just
Like,
wrong.
What?
Wait, I don't want to be on
What?
your side
I eat it.
anymore.
I eat it like twice a year. That's it. Like that's how much I don't like it.
What?
It's like I used to eat it a little, but regardless, like I'm still gonna give my
I
opinion.
don't think we can hear your opinion
But
anymore.
it's just like
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
like I can't be ostracized for this because I'm spitting facts.
All right, go ahead.
But it's like there's a stark difference in the taste. Like you'd want more of the pizza than that crust.
Yes.
Like, but then also like different places make their crusts differently. I feel like Domino's crust is more edible than a Pizza Hut crust, for example, because like Domino's has more seasoning. You know,
Yeah.
Sure.
that makes it slightly more bearable.
I think I don't know. I really like the thin pizzas where like the sauce like creeps up on the crust and it's super close and like the crust is. I think the only time I'm okay with the crust is when it's like really nice pizza, when it's like bougie and shit. Low key, because I feel like the bread tastes kind of like it tastes burnt, which makes it taste good. I don't know.
I'm
But maybe I
usually
just like
fine
burnt.
with whatever.
I have heard like pizza should be a little burnt, just like a tiny bit on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Here's I actually do have a pizza hot take, and I need the pizza lovers in the chat to tell me whether or not this is right or wrong. So, as a young kid, there a lot. What kind of pizza do young kids like?
It's just like cheese and pepperoni.
Cheese and pepperoni,
Cheese.
right? Or they just like the sauce, right? Okay, I already know when I said that some of these Daniel already disagreed with me a little bit. Here, let me tell you.
Go
As
ahead.
a youngin, I did not like the cheese or
Okay.
the pepperoni, right? I thought the pepperoni was too salty, too flavorful.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't know why. I just didn't like it. So what I would do is I originally just ordered cheese pizza and I would just rip off all the cheese and just eat the pizza, right? But then I found something really interesting, right? So here's the thing about pepperonis, what makes pepperoni fire. They have the little oil, the little sweat at the very end, right? It adds a little extra seasoning to the rest of the pizza. So now I would get
You mean the
pepperoni pizzas and just rip off both and then so the extra pepperoni juices would cook into like the red sauce or whatever, and then I would eat that, and it was way better than just the cheese pizza and you rip off the sauce.
I'm very sad.
That is weird.
No one
Very
else.
sad. No.
I mean, sometimes I would feel bad about the extra crust that I threw away. So the extra like toppings I threw away. So I would get like the crust because that has no sauce on it, and I would eat that with the destroyed things that I ripped off the pizza.
Okay. Well, for me, as long as you finish everything, that's good enough.
Yeah, usually I wouldn't. Usually I just throw away so you would see the plate. Half of it is the toppings, and the rest is just nothing. Toppings
It's
and the
got
other
like
crust.
baked bread and put some like canned tomatoes on it or something.
That was not an option when I was younger.
That makes me sad.
Listen, customization only came out when people came up with those like the tablets where you could press on the thing, and you could say like, "Oh, I want no meat in my hamburger."
Okay. When I was a weird kid, I liked combo pizza. So
Yeah, combo pizza seat.
I didn't like it at all as a kid, but I do like it now.
I'm sad they removed it from Costco.
They removed the combo
They did?
pizza.
It's no longer available.
No, you're trolling.
I'm pretty sure last time
No,
I wanted to order it and they're like, sorry, we don't offer that anymore. I'm like,
I'm
what?
pretty sure they've always offered it.
They
Wait.
always had it.
Isn't that what everyone orders? There's no way. I don't like. Okay, so I googled combo pizza space Costco, and the first thing that said when I pressed space was gone.
Yeah, I'm seeing a Reddit post saying like, no more combo pizza at Costco. Yeah, I'm just sad.
Wow.
Wait,
Damn.
I mean, if you look at their site, it's still on there.
Oh, really? Because I'm seeing like, well, I guess this was
Costco
like
food court
9
menu.
months ago. They were saying like it's gone for the year. So maybe now that we're in a new year.
I think Daniel is right. I don't remember seeing it, like, because I have been to Costco recently. I don't see it on their menu
Anyway,
anymore.
combo pizza.
wait, that's
another
so
one
sad.
of COVID's
Sad life.
victims.
I think it was like, was vegetables too expensive or something like that?
Wait, this is so sad, bro.
Wow.
What the?
All right, rest in
All right.
peace, combo pizza. I
So
mean, it's not like their pepperoni pizza is bad. It's just like combo is really nice.
Yeah, I think I
It's so
usually
good.
buy their pepperoni pizza anyway.
Wait, this has ruined my day. I don't know why you told me.
I thought everyone knew. I tried to order one time and they're like, yeah, no more combo pizza. And I was like, what?
Mm.
So yeah, that night that was just a pepperoni pizza day afterwards. Yeah, had like petition for Costco to bring back combo pizza.
Why do we always end up talking about food? I feel like every episode is just about food. But I mean, I think every time every like show I've watched, they always end up talking about food. I don't know. I think everything always comes back to like what we eat because I feel like it's such a.
Do you watch Food Network?
There's so many emotions.
Huh?
What are you watching? Food Network?
No, I'm not watching Food Network. Like I'll listen to like other podcasts, right? And for some reason, all their best episodes are always food. But maybe that's just me being biased because I like.
That might be your opinion.
I'm a fat fuck.
I like food. Food is good. I watch food shows.
That's how our brain works, though. We like to categorize based on like memories associated with different foods. Like that's just how our brain works, you know. Like naturally, conversation will gravitate that way.
Yeah.
I know my favorite food is the Getty, but Daniel won't.
At the game.
Anyway, so we weren't actually here to talk about food. We're actually here to talk about what the fuck do you guys call it? Like stocks?
Stonks.
What the fuck are they?
Stonks, some good old memes. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, so for those of you that
we're going to the moon.
yeah, let's go to the moon. For those of you who don't know, I guess during the past week there are quite a few stocks that like skyrocketed, like maybe like 500%, 800%, a lot of money basically, and it's become quite a meme now, especially the GameStop stock. At first, I didn't know it was a meme. I actually thought about investing in it as like a serious like thing, but in the end, it became like a super big meme. It's like Tesla involved, Wall Street involved, a lot of memes involved. So yeah, so I guess I'm not really an expert at it, and I just know from like reading little bits in here on the web, but basically I think this might have started in Reddit. There was a thread, I believe, called, was it Wall Street Bets?
Which now is, yes.
Which is now banned.
Oh no, it's still up.
Is that good? It's good? Or was it Discord that banned it?
It was Discord, their Discord got banned. Yeah.
For using inappropriate language or whatever. But anyways, I think it started there. And what happened was a bunch of guys, people got together and drove up the prices of this GameStop app, basically. And I think it started
they drove it up because for good reason. They realized that certain hedge funds were shorting this stock and making a lot of money off of it.
Yeah. So basically, like a lot of companies like were betting that this stock was gonna like crash, and these Reddit people realized they had enough numbers to just like drive up the prices. So as a result, quite a few people got screwed over, but a lot of people won. Yeah,
I don't think they realized it. It just kind of happened after a while.
Maybe. I might have started out as a meme, and it's still a meme right now. It also helped that I think Elon Musk might have tweeted about putting the GameStop logo on his rocket if it went up to like a certain value. So yeah, you know how Elon Musk is with like promoting. There's another company who promoted in a random tweet and it like significantly impacted the stock's value. But anyways, that's what happened again. And here we are with GameStop. I think it was like it reached 500, 800, or no, 580 at some point, like maybe 2 days ago before dropping down a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like 320 right now.
Yeah, but that's still a lot compared to when I saw it like maybe last week it was like 30. So congrats to everyone that made money, I guess. But the weird thing is like a lot of companies, like the people that invest in these hedge funds were like saying it's like, oh, it's unfair. They're like, oh, we invested money into this and now we're screwed over because of these or Redditors or whatever. And then like I think the argument is like, well, you guys do that all the time. And like, why isn't the general public allowed to do this? Which is a little strange. I've seen like memes about like the Redditor's parents getting like screwed over in 2008 because of these hedge fund people like messing with the stocks, and then a lot of people lost their houses and stuff. But now when it happens to them, now it's like not allowed or something. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. The newest meme on the block nowadays.
No, I agree with the last thing Daniel said. It's like it started off as a meme, but obviously there is purpose to it, and like it's a movement, you know. Like this is just class warfare again, just in a new setting that was enabled. I mean, obviously we don't want to get too political. We also don't want to give financial advice, but it's just more so like, what is our take on how this whole situation is playing out? And I mean, I joke around when I say like, oh, I bought shares, like I am the movement. You know, I'm not joining the movement.
Thank you, Saichandra.
But
Thank you.
like, yes, you're welcome, guys. Obviously, like I'm not loaded, you know, but it's like, I don't know, the stock market's really interesting, given how tumultuous the economy has been because of COVID. It's like there's been more reason for to like understand it. Like there needs to be there's a reason as like why should you have some understanding of it. And like for young people like us, like you kind of want to have that so you can be better off in the long run, right?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think it's good knowledge.
having passive income is always good. Yeah, good knowledge, passive income is always good. Like you set it to the side. Like it's not about you being greedy either, you know, because obviously Wall Street is just even more so
They got the money.
greedy.
The thing is, like, it's
Like-
just, yeah, it's like you said, like, it's really good knowledge. Like, you don't have to invest or anything, but like, whatever happens in Wall Street, that affects your life. Like, your job, that could be
Yeah,
affected.
exactly.
Like, if your company is like one of those companies that invested in or that bet against GameStop, and now you're gonna go out of business, and that affects your job and livelihood. So it's
Exactly.
just good
Exactly.
information. Just like watching the news is good for you in general. So yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, it's you get some good memes out of it.
Yeah.
I just had a question. So you said like these guys like screwed over Wall Street, right? And you said they screwed over their short positions. Could you like elaborate? Like I don't know anything. Well, I know very little. The only thing I know is stuff from like watching Billions. So that's the only thing I know about the stock markets. I mean, they just talk from there, and even then, I'm just like, oh, it's cool actors, whatever. So my question is, how did they screw it over? Like, what is like the basic understanding that I need to know to understand what they did?
I feel like there's a good chance I could be wrong, but
Well, try your
basically,
Okay. What you can explain? I'll try.
okay,
to,
okay, correct me if I'm
see.
wrong, but from what I've never done shorts before, but basically I think it's kind of like borrowing. Basically, you borrow some shares from this company, like the hedge fund or the rich people will like borrow some stocks, and then they'll do something, or maybe they won't do something, but that's speculation. But anyway, if the price goes up, then you can sell your shares and like earn money, and then, or maybe you don't sell it, but in the end, you basically earn money based on how much it went up. So I think that's how you, or maybe that's
No, I think shorting is the opposite, right?
the opposite. I forgot what the opposite of shorting is, but
Or I
anyways,
guess,
okay, I guess if it goes down, then you win. You earn money.
yeah, yeah.
If it went up, now you have to pay them the difference. So yeah, if you have anything, Jorge.
Or I guess I'm very new to this, but what I was understanding from the situation and what I've read up on is that what's happening is that these hedge funds are borrowing money, and then they're investing this money into stocks they think will go down, because like GameStop, like in months past, it's like not doing anything. It's not doing well. So they think it's going to go down, and once it so they put this borrowed money into those stocks. Shoot, I got confused.
I think okay. I'm just gonna say maybe my quick interpretation. Maybe I'm trying to get what Daniel's saying. So say Daniel has like, we'll just do different names. Okay, so Daniel has 100 stocks on this podcast, right? And I, for some reason, think I'm not a part of this program. I think the money's going to decline, right? So what I do is I say, hey Daniel, let me borrow these stocks from you. Like give me these 100 stocks at like $10 each, right? So now I have $1,000 worth in stocks or shares, right? I immediately turn that into money. I'm like Daniel, I'm gonna borrow these 100 shares from you, and I'm gonna pay you back in like a week, right? So I take the 100 from you. So now I have $10,000 in shares. I convert it into liquid, or I turn it into money, and then I invest in something else, right? And say in a week later, the stocks is now worth at $1, right? And I'm like, okay, Daniel, I'm gonna give you back your shares back. So I just give you $100 instead, because that's the 100 shares I originally borrowed from you. So now you're screwed because you could have made all that money from just selling at that point, and I made money from it because I was able to convert your money, turn it into something more liquid, and then put it into another thing that I think is going to go up. And meanwhile, you just have shares that are now worth less that you could have pulled out and turned into something else. Is that the correct understanding?
Yeah, it seems about right. I was
Pretty
looking it up online just to like make sure. And yeah, it's basically you, I guess, borrowing shares from someone else, and then if you sell it basically, and then when it drops, then you can buy it back at like a cheap price, and then you give it back to the person. So
yeah, you're pocketing, in that case, you're pocketing the difference. Like how you use that, like in your case, Randy, you just took all that money, you put it into a new investment. Like you don't necessarily have to do that, but the main thing is you profited off of that loss, right? Because you kept the difference.
yeah,
So that's what they're doing essentially. I mean the stock market, like it can be pretty volatile, right? But it's also really hard to predict why the share prices are moving in a certain way. Like you can take like overall like ideas like ongoings of a company and use those to like predict in what direction will it go, but the actual randomness you can't really predict. Like there's no reason as to why like it always staggers like this, or like sometimes there's just no reason as to why it goes up, you know? So it can be a little unpredictable, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, what we see is that these companies just saw, or like these hedge funds, they saw an opportunity for like dying companies and just like try to put the nail in the coffin, you know? Like that's what they were trying to do, is my interpretation. And like I don't know if you remember, like we're really young, but like learning about it, like there was a housing market crash, right?
yeah,
Like in 2008-ish. So so there's this movie called The Big Short. Some guy literally bet that the housing market was going to crash. So when that market actually crashed, like obviously it ruined a lot of people's lives, right? Because like the value of the house that they were living in was just gone, like financial catastrophe for a lot of people. But the person that shorted it, he's like thriving now. He's making a fortune, like more than a fortune, off of the distress of people. So it's just like reminiscent of that, I feel. And it's just like, well, it's kind of fucked up. So
I didn't just think about it. I think
that's why
it's
like now.
Wait,
Wait, what were you gonna say?
no, I was saying continue.
Oh no, I think I was just gonna like tie it in and say, well, now people feel that with the stock market, we had more control. So a lot of these Redditors, what they're doing essentially is buying more shares. You're somewhat ensuring that the market cap is higher, and then that won't drive the price of the share down as much. And if the price doesn't go down, then these hedge fund companies, they can't like buy the shares back at a lower price, you know? So that's how they lose money.
Yeah. So they have to return it at a higher cost, right?
yeah.
So I had a question on that. So like when do you have to pay up your shares? And who do you talk to like
I think there's a deadline.
you just like it's like you submit an app like, hi, give me 100 shares, please, sir. Or is it like or is it not like that personal? Or is it just like out of depth?
I think you can just do it on like an app, any app, like Robinhood, Thinkorswim. There's a bunch of different apps, but you just like submit your order basically, and you pay for it, and then there's a certain deadline, I believe, and you have to basically return everything by that deadline. And I don't remember if it's the same for all orders, but basically, usually there's a certain day in the month where all these people have to return their shares, and that sometimes affects the price of the market because you get to figure out whether or not all these people won the bet or lost the bet, basically. And so I don't know if these companies have had already returned their money or have not had to, but I know Robinhood did like prohibit people from buying and selling the GameStop stock. Like they would basically not allow you to sell anything or buy anything and they actually got into quite a bit of trouble for that. I believe they're getting sued right now. And then like, because when I heard about it, I was like, that's just messed up. You can't just like stop people from like buying and selling. Like it's not really your control. It wasn't like every app did that. It was just them. So that's what made it fishy. I know a lot of people like decided like, hey, I'm not going to stay with Robinhood anymore if they're just going to like control my assets like that. It's like not really their business. So I know at least one person who's already transferred away, and now it looks like they're getting in trouble. And it looks like they got like yelled at by like both Democrats and Republicans. So that looks like they're in some deep water right now. Looks like we're gonna have some more memes coming for you guys. And yeah.
On that note, I think there are other apps or like that are also restricting, but like Robinhood was the main one that also did it first, and that is also linked highly to a certain hedge fund, I think Citadel. So it's very widely presumed that they made them do that, so that then people can't buy shares, and in that way, the stock will drop, favoring like the hedge funds that are currently losing a lot of money, because then the stock will drop, which is what they want, in order to like make up the money. So
yeah. Robinhood garners most criticism right now because it's one of the most user-friendly ways to start investing into stocks. I think the interface is really nice. Like that's definitely something that works to their benefit. It definitely has a lot more appeal. Super easy to get started with that, I think. So the fact that there are a lot of Robinhood users, and then with this whole fiasco now, you have a lot of traffic for all the other brokerages. They're just having a tough time handling that demand as well now. So everything's in a frenzy. Like people who want to get their feet wet, like foot in the door right now, they're having a tough time doing that. Transferring funds is also being delayed right now. So I don't know. It's just interesting. Like no one could have predicted this.
Yeah. I'm currently trying to get my foot in the door, like how Sai was mentioning. I was trying to do Robinhood at first. I guess because I wanted to get into Dogecoin as well. But I was not able to make an account this week because like they were having a bunch of problems and it was hard to like get anything done on there. I finally had my application go through on Fidelity instead, and they are currently not restricting. So I might buy a GME share or two on Monday.
I love
I put my
events.
So yeah.
Wonder when everything is going to calm down.
I think on a less topical note, I actually had a really interesting conversation with my parents about this last night, because they were telling me to like learn how to invest and like to put money into the stock market. And I'm not particularly informed enough about it, but I know that I think it seems like all three of you guys have some vested interest in the stock market and have dabbled a little in it. So what will you guys think is like the recommendation of anyone who wants to get into it? And I guess maybe to give a better understanding of my situation, I don't want to be day trading. I don't want to particularly be looking at it. I just want something where it's like I throw my money in, close my eyes, and I'll have money when I look away, right? Is there like a way to do that? Because I know the usual thought, you've always hear this saying like, oh, you put in like $100 every single year since you're 18, you'll be a millionaire by your 40, or some saying like that. So could you like explain like maybe where that myth came from and how to get involved?
Yeah, I think for people who don't want to day trade or who aren't like doing short term is like, I think anything less than a year. If you do anything less than a year, there are like more taxes involved, but if you do longer than a year, there's less taxes. So there's a benefit to doing that, and also you just don't have to look at it all the time. For people who are interested in that kind of stuff, I think the recommendation is like go after companies that are established. Like you're not going to go after some, you're not going to like invest in like Amazon like 30 years ago. Like no GameStop, stuff like that. Stuff that's like already been around for a while. Something that's not going to like go bankrupt. So something you don't have to really worry much about. And I guess basically the idea is like you just keep adding some money whenever you have extra money, then you just money you don't really need, then you can just add it to this, buy some more shares and just let it sit there. And eventually you're betting, it's not really much of a bet, because in general, these companies, they do well. And after many years, they'll earn you something basically. So I think you just have to find this company that's right for you. So you just look around, just like keep watching, you look through the company's history, like their past performance. And then honestly, if you're looking for something that long-term, then you just like check on it occasionally, and then you just wait, to be honest. I think the easiest thing is to just think of some stocks that some companies you're interested in, and then you just observe their behavior, and then you read up on them, look up the news, like see what kind of like reports they release, and then if it looks good, then I guess you can just like think about investing in it. Obviously, I'm not a professional at all. I don't trust me completely, but I think that's how it works basically. So I don't really do long term.
If I can like add on, if I can add on to what Daniel's saying, it's like a learning experience in the sense that you're learning more about yourself as well. Because one thing you want to gauge is like just how risk averse are you, right? Are you trying to like, what is your mentality and perspective on it? Are you just trying to make money like this, like quickly? In that case, you have to put in a lot of money to reap the higher returns, right? Or are you someone that just wants like the money, let it passively grow, and then by the time, like you said, like by the time you're 40, maybe it's there. In those cases, you want more stable companies that will grow in the long run, right? So that's something that you have to learn about yourself, like how risk averse are you, and then what is it exactly that you want to do with investing.
Yeah.
And with Daniel, I think Daniel basically just described the process of doing your due diligence for stocks, right? You're taking into consideration just how profitable is the company, like what is their business model, what are their financials, like what's their potential growth, like what are their competitors, like all that, like that, those are technical stuff, but you're just doing that research. But I would say definitely like the two key takeaways, I would say one, like learn more about yourself, and then two is like, do you believe in the company, right? If you like on it, like if it's a stock that you're interested in, like chances are you're more likely to believe in the outcome of the company in the long run. So like I can give an example and say Tesla is something I believe in. EV is the future. Like Elon Musk might be crazy, but I think his vision is pretty great for what he has with Tesla. Their products are nice. So like you have to believe it so that even when their stock prices go down, like you're not scared of it, like because you have the big picture in the mind. So those are the two things I would say.
Yeah. I think what Sai mentioned just now is quite important. Like I've been told by a lot of people, like when you are dealing with stocks, you have to like leave your emotions out of it. Like it's kind of hard to do because of your like future, but you can't like panic. Like you have to like, a lot of times it's important to like think of what's going to happen, like think of different outcomes, and then come up with plans on how you're going to deal with it. In addition to that, it's important to, well, like I said before, observe before you do anything. You can like pretend. You can, I believe even on apps, you can, there's an option where you can trade with pretend money, basically. Like you get to go through a test run basically to see how things go. And by doing that, you can like build some confidence in your skills, like your ability to kind of like predict what's going to happen, and just your ability to select the right stocks, I think. So it might not be a skill that everyone learns, but for those who do learn it and do pick up on it, I think it could be a benefit. But that's not the only way to invest. There are other ways to invest, like buying houses, buying, what else is there?
Mm-hmm.
But
You can do cryptocurrency,
stuff like that. It'll just be a good side income, basically. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I watched some videos very briefly, and I think the only key takeaway I went from it is like, if I'm feeling super lazy, bro, just find an index fund and just dump money in and just like wait and just chill, right? Like if you want like the no effort and you want pretty much guaranteed gains, like I think that's the way to go, is it not?
Yeah, I think so. It depends on how much effort you want it, and then how much risk you're willing to go through. If you don't really want to touch it and you want to just have people touch it, do stuff for you, then yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way to go. I think was it more than 4%? It's decent money. It's not nothing. So it's better than just letting it sit in your bank. Like they give like barely any interest. So
Mhm.
if you
Exactly.
have money you don't need for a while, if you're fortunate enough, then like I guess prepare for the future is good step to take, I guess.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, yeah.
Right. Jorge, did you have any inputs or thoughts?
Oh no, I'm new to this as well. So
Oh, you're new too?
yeah, I've just been invested in the action of the latter half of last week. So yeah.
I think it's a thing that a lot of like younger kids are getting into just because we're all stuck in quarantine. A lot of people are picking up like hobbies, cooking, gardening, stuff like that. This is just another aspect of picking up a hobby, like one that earns money. So
Exactly. It's more
yeah,
technical.
so whatever you choose to do,
It's not more, but
up to you.
There's this guy in my math class. Apparently, him and his friend were trying to bet to see who would make money the most over summer, and I think they both came up with like 100% return,
Nice.
both. And I was like, "What?
you know,
That's nuts."
that yeah, it's that whole sector of the job market is just insane. I know people who have gotten a 300K signing bonus just for starting a job with a hedge fund. Like, granted, like he's fresh out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just like they're just like coding gods, and then they like math. They obviously like money, like who do, right? So like that's why they want to go into that space. 300K signing bonus, and then it's all of their rewards or incentives are performance based, right? So if they make more trades, like you make more money that way. Um, so there's just like enough growth. Like yeah, it's like that. Like is its own topic. Like how they're funded is just insane. It's crazy.
I always wondered about that. I was like,
So
I heard the hours if you're working in like what's the if you're trying to be
yeah, no, like
an IB, what's that thing? Investment banking. I heard it's like
investment
it
banking. Yeah, you're
working
working
your
your
ass
ass off, but yeah, like Wolf of Wall Street, like them doing all those drugs. I honestly don't think that's a huge stretch. Like that's really what their lifestyle is like. But then think about like the longevity of their career. So it doesn't need to be that long. Like if they grind a few years, make all that money, like boom, they can settle. So just a different lifestyle. It really makes you question like where does the money go? I mean, like obviously we have our own ways of allocating funds and whatnot, but in the grand scheme of things, with all the money that like is involved in the country's transactions, I'm not saying that the government's funding it. Like I'm just saying like any exchange that like institutions have or companies have whatnot in the grand scheme of things, it really makes you question like how is money going? But that's just like an eternal debate, you know?
It's interesting. I definitely need to do some more research and to look more into it just to see like what should I do with my money because I recently got a part-time job and I just see my money accumulate and it's just like cool. I mean, it makes me
Nice.
it looks good, but it's like what should I feel like I should be doing more with it because because I feel like there's no value in just having it sit there. And I think that's always been like my personal philosophy. It's like
Yeah.
something you can do with it, might as well just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there isn't a need 100% of times to always do something more, you know? Sometimes like everyone deserves a break. Like your mental health is important too. So like you don't need to push yourself all the time. But for those if like people like us and like I know there's a lot of people out there that always want to try to improve for the better, then like this is probably that like momentum. Like that this is just that little push that you need, you know, to get that.
yeah.
So, you know. But ending on a lighter note, but my name, like Chandra, is the moon. Like it means moon god. It's like the moon god.
Mhm.
So I think it's just a sign that's saying GME to the moon.
God damn. All right. That concludes this week's episode of Meet Us in the Lounge podcast. This is our 47th episode of the new year, depending when we released it. You can watch us on YouTube, Spotify, I think Apple. Are we on Apple as well? Apple as
Yes,
well.
sir.
All right. And this episode has been sponsored by fucking nothing.
GameStop.
Raise chat. Wait, I'm not gonna say it because we don't get money, but
It's funded by my negative $500
Ah,
that I've lost
Funded
in
by
the stock market.
Dogecoin.
All right,
Yes.
take care, everyone. Stay safe.
yeah.
One day, in person lounge. We'll run it back.
Yeah.
One day.
Later,
For
everyone.
sure.
All right,
Bye
later.
bye.